let's begin. We'll be starting shortly. Disclaimer: the following stream contains art and development of an original IP belonging to Bonny John. Any concept and development made on this stream belong to Bonny John, creator in perpetuity. Anything shared through comment, critique, feedback, or suggestion that aids the development of the property also belong to the creator. In short, please refrain from sharing your own original ideas. This is not a collaboration. By participating in the stream, you agree to the above statement. Thank you for understanding. Hello and welcome to today's stream. I'm Professor Bodhi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Thank you so much for joining me today. Guys, we've got Mast with us today, Joseph, and Nintendo Zombie. Yesterday, we worked on a jack-o'-lantern line, and with a potential opening in the future to kind of expand its line, right? Dullahan, maybe. And then, as I was wrapping up the first half, I realized, okay, I wanted to maybe make the Yeti work. And so I started with an abominable snowman, of whose design we can see here. Hello, Dingus, welcome into you. I also made sure to put the wooden bit, which I missed yesterday, but I do like the teeth there. There's something scary about it, right? Abominable, meaning it's trying to be scary. Hello, Kay. And so I would say that this direction where the abominable snowman evolves into Jack Frost is very fun. I want to do a second pass, and I wonder how radically different Jack Frost will look. I do like the idea of Jack Frost. I think it's a good mythos to follow. Again, as far as future evolutions, I can see a Yeti. I can see the Ice Queen. There's a lot of cool things that you can do here, but that's yesterday. Today, if you might be wondering, which you shouldn't, you have a thumbnail with the title, we're working on a terror board. Looks good. Second stage reminds me of a corn husk. Yes, that's true. So, yesterday's theme of somehow a Halloween into a holiday, that was kind of like an accidental thing that happened. And people really love to see designs like that, where more or less you have concepts where they exist in pairs or duos. You know, people like a duality, and you know, it's easy to kind of track a theme. So with one side being fall or Halloween, and the other's like Christmassy and snow. Yeah, maybe down the line I could do some more combinations, right? Maybe next time there'll be spring and summer deities, right? But both Halloween and Christmas have a nice commercialization to them. So simple, cute, two-stage lines. Today, as I said, we will be focusing on something called a terror bird. Now, class, chat, if you recall, if you're a real one and you've been around for a while, you guys have seen this design on screen. This is my take on a paradox form for Staraptor. Now, the way Pokemon paradoxes work, they don't go to this extent where they create something a little more, I don't want to say thorough or extensive, but for the most part, the general silhouette of the paradox creature or the general direction still very much holds true of the original creature, or not original, but like the creature as we know it. Case in point, Donphan, right? He has a future and past form, right? Iron Tusks and, Iron Treads and what was the past one called? Angry Elephant, whatever his name is. You can very much tell that's Donphan. Like, the silhouette doesn't change too much. They lean into either the techie aspect or, you know, go in with the yellow eyes, get the tusks out really far and protruding. So that said, when I did a lot of my Paradox designs, you guys will know that I went out of my way to really try to develop some cool concepts. So here was one where what happens, this is not a past Paradox of Staraptor, average tests. This is a future form of Staraptor. A future in which Staraptor would have reverted back into being a dinosaur. And I loved doing that kind of challenge. A lot of the creation process that I did on stream was very fun. And so I looked at this guy before and I was like, I would love to put this Pokemon into my game as a POTEMPO. When I look at its design, you know, I can see ways of how I want to translate it into, well, a Terror Bird. So, great test, thank you very much. And hello, No Monkey. And so, with the Terror Bird, if the future wasn't exactly, and that's why I always got a lot of strange comments on Instagram and whatnot of people, well, future Pokemon's got to be this or past Pokemon. No, dude, I don't work for Game Freak. I'm just going to make the stuff that I want to make, right? So while I have this on the screen, I'm going to read to you guys about Terror Birds, and I'm going to talk about like the potential direction I want to take for them. If you know anything about Terror Birds, please let me know. I also want to apply maybe a bird that Pokemon hasn't done into my Terror Bird. In specific, I think I might add features of a cassowary. They're colorful, fun, scary birds. And so I think that as a basis would be really fun rather than making a generic one, right? So, Forus racidae, colloquially known as terror birds, are an extinct family of large carnivorous, mostly flightless birds that were among the largest apex predators in Sudamerica during the Cenozoic era. Their conventionally accepted temporal range covers from 53 to 0.1 million years ago, perhaps even up to 21,600 years ago. They range in height from 3 to 10 feet tall. Okay, so the smaller ones at 3 aren't big. I mean, it's still big, but then 10 feet is crazy. One of the largest specimens from the early Pleistocene of Uruguay, possibly belonging to Devincenzia, would have weighed up to 770 pounds. Their closest modern-day relatives are believed to be the 87-meter tall, 31-inch Sedimas. The Sedima. Okay, so here's the Sedima. Not very scary, but a terror bird in spirit. So anyway, the neck can be divided into 3 main regions. The feet of the Forus receded 4 toes, first of which is known as hallux, skull structure. Birds were thought to have high beaks, round orbits. Most Phororhacids were very fast runners. All members possessed a large, sharp beak, a powerful neck, and sharp talons. However, even with these attributes, they were often assumed to have preyed on relatively small animals about the size of a rabbit that could be dispatched with a minimum of struggle. This is because with the fast beak proportions, the jaw could not generate a great deal of bite force which to kill the prey. Okay. So, again, looking at... Oh, wait. Here's another picture at the current living relative. A terror bird. He does look terrifying. Terror bird. Hello, fossil time indeed. Average feather. I've decided to make a Hawlucha. Okay, very nice. Looking forward to that. Now, that said, the reason you guys might be wondering, Bon, you've done all these designs for POTEMPO, you're talking about, oh, mythology, this, that, and the other. What mythology are we dealing with when it comes to, well, a terror bird? They were just actual birds. I'm mostly doing this. The rabbit size breed included proto-horses? No way. So, when you look at it, some people don't believe in dinosaurs, so to them, it's they're mythological creatures, right? If they're more into creationisms in their religions and whatnot, that's for them to figure out. But I mostly want to go this route to at least pay homage, which I've done to Pokemon and Digimon many times in POTEMPO. I think I do want to pay homage in many ways, and I see all the time in any creature collectible or otherwise, people expect starters, people expect a Fossilmon, people expect this or that. I don't really have a dinosaur proper, so doing one of a terror bird that lives in between being a proper bird and a proper dinosaur, paying homage to the Fossilmons feels right to me. I definitely want to use this as a base, but you might be wondering, well, what does the first form look like? I think I can pay homage to another pop culture reference, which I'll pull up over here. So, if you recall, Jurassic Park, Amber. I think that's the direction I want to go. What if you did a goofy base form like a Dino Turkey? What is a Dino Turkey? Is that an actual creature or just kind of like a jokey thing? There's some interesting results for Dino Turkey. I want to do Amber because it's the classic kind of storyline for a lot of these kind of things, right? Even in Pokemon, they pay homage to Jurassic Park with the Amber fossil. I mean, not that Jurassic Park came up with Amber fossils, right? But I've got a very fun idea. It's a joke thing, gotcha. It's going to be a terror bird. What is it going to be the dinosaur part? It's just going to be more of like a generic kind of velociraptor kind of thing. Like, it won't look too different from here. It'll certainly be kind of like a Utahraptor, Jurassic Park velociraptor. Not like a scary one. Like, it should still look cool, but not like brutally scary. And so in that instance, I want to design. It could be, if the jellyfish, right, was referencing a polyp, was it? A polyp? And the totem head was encased. I'd love for this creature's, essentially their head to be encased in amber. I could potentially see myself doing the whole line, or rather, whole body, but I think that might be too much. I also wanted to do a Pteroraptor. Yeah, I mean, like, if you look at the artwork for a lot of terror birds, they're like pretty much dino birds, and that's what I want to do for sure. Fun fact, kiwi birds are rat-tides. Groups that include ostriches and emus. They're so small, but the eggs are... I saw that. It's pretty crazy. It is very, very crazy. Okay, so now that we have... It could be a cool design like this, where... What if... So here's the totem face, right? And... I give it maybe a mouth like that. And I suspect I'll probably do the beak similar to that for the evolved form. In fact, this one doesn't have to be a crazy leap or anything. Also, I think Draco gave me a suggestion to potentially do something like a penguin into a terror bird, which I would have loved to do, like a cute thing. But when I thought about having to do a design where a penguin with a block head, I'm like, oh, that's just Ice Cube, so I couldn't do that. All right, you know what? So I guess for this terror bird, I could do... Maybe I could still do a little penguin kind of body. right? Could I do baby penguin? Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Because I do love penguins, and it would be really cute. Oh, you know what? I could just do something like this. Maybe it's like... And then that way it's just it's a similar kind of penguin type of thing, but it's not really. Yeah, that feels about right. So I like that this one, there's like the obvious nod to the amber, and that we kind of know like, oh, here's the quote-unquote Fossilmon. Now, I'm not going to be doing a Fossilmon type of thing for every generation. I'll just probably introduce, one of my dreams would be to, for season 2 or generation 2 or DLC, just do a whole thing of just various dinosaurs and more like original creations. Like, meaning, like, again, not that it's original, but for example, something like a rhino beetle, and it's an actual rhino. It's for, you know... Yeah, I see the vision. I guess I can do... Ooh, how are the eyes gonna look? Hello Avery, welcome in, and hello person with internet. You have internet, and you made it. Dodo would be a good one. A dodo would be a good one who went extinct. Parrots, falcons, and songbirds are the next closest relative of the terror birds, really. Maybe the totem originally housed the egg and the hatchling hatches already on the totem. I was thinking of a version of an egg in amber as well. So if this doesn't work out, I wouldn't mind trying that way as well. Now I found out dodo were actually just a species of a large flightless pigeon. There you go. I'm gonna look up and see if there's a dodo photos that I can use, because that would be a fun one. They look like turkeys. Actually, they really look like terror birds in a funny way, like of the illustrations I've seen. Meaning mostly in the face and whatnot. Okay, they don't have any interesting kind of colorway. The dodo would be a fun one, wouldn't it, chat? They're kind of brown in color, which is a little plain. But I'm seeing a lot of them depicted in a blue kind of color. And I kind of like that because I do want to make a cassowary, kind of the bird influence, you know? Because I want to put some color on my bird. The blue also kind of works really well against the yellow and the orange, you know? Give them yellow here, yellow claws here. And then they also had small, like, little... Okay, so they had some tail feathers like that. I'm gonna give them a white kind of underbelly. And then I'm seeing I could do some white there. And now let's add some color. Oh, Dodino! This is going to be a two-stage line indeed. Look at the closest living dodo relative, Nicobar pigeon. Any name ideas? Maybe Gastini, Gastornis, a Terrorbird, a corruption of Tiny. I haven't even given any of my creatures names yet, but yeah, you guys can feel free to leave me some name suggestions. I should at one point sit down and kind of come up with stuff. Kellikid? What is Kellikid referencing? I know the kid part, but Kella is for what? What am I trying to find? Oh, baby bird eyes. Oh, some of these baby birds are so cute. Because I want the eyes to kind of stand out here, right? Kellican, a species of terror. Oh, gotcha. Oh, this guy is cute. Let's give him a little bit. Yeah. Now, I think I like the chunky rock element, but I wonder if maybe a more... I think, you know what, just to simplify the shape, I'm gonna just probably do something like this. You know? Maybe reptilian eyes, and says, no, I mean, at the end of the day, the eyes will always be more like stylized, like cartoony, like Pokemon eyes. It's a baby, so I want it to be cute. I feel like the evolved form is going to be stalky and looking down upon me, so I'm scared. It's going to look cool. It's going to look really cool. I have high hopes for my Terrorbird. And, you know, I think another important thing, talking about, hey, you're going to be scared of it. I think another important part about, in general, character designs. So you guys may know that Pokemon famously have said things like, oh, you know, the design should always feel like the creatures can be your friend, right? And I would say that that's not necessarily just a Pokemon thing. It absolutely is, because they came up with that, but it's smart to apply that to no matter what you're creating, right? That especially creatures in like a tamer can be your friend. And that's because this is going to be a game or a concept where I want people to care about these creatures. So if the designs are too this or that, then the chances of developing connection, which start by, you know, seeing the design, is in jeopardy, right? How good are you at coming up with names? Pretty damn good, if I say so myself. I've done almost 100. You want bright colors? That species of pigeon I mentioned is very bright, kind of related, but I'm working on a Grease Bay community called Mitas. Very nice. Imagine if it has a move called Amber Peck. Sorry, very dumb question, but will all POTEMPO look spiritual and or ancient, or would there be modern or futuristic? I think in this first game, like, it's all going to feel very ancient. It's going to look like these creatures come from another plane of existence, you know? And they are. They're not, you know, they're not Pokemon, they're not Digimon. They're going to be their own thing. And so the important thing about character design is selling intention in design. It's important to, especially since I'm doing my own thing, proving that my designs can sit with the best of them. And so when I look at, you know, for example, this Terrorbird line, right? It is a very ancient kind of concept, right? Like, again, if most of my designs are mythology based, then at what point like I said, where does this fit as far as mythology? And it's more like, again, maybe some Christians and other religious people don't believe in dinosaurs. Maybe it's treating old world creatures as mythological entities, right? Dinosaurs are spoken of, you know, like a lot of dudes, myself included, obviously, you know, got into dinosaurs as kids, and yet here we're grown adults. Like, dinosaurs are awesome, right? So that in its own ways, like, built up its own mythos. But for this first batch of designs, you know what? I'm going to get rid of the claws. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think I'm going to have claws for my terror bird anyway. So, yeah, to me, the idea is you might as well stick to whatever you're building for consistency, right? But just like Pokemon, Kofi, you know, Pokemon's designs have changed every generation, right? They've added to some capacity new rules, right? Some people look at a Pokemon design that a fan makes and they're like, oh, it doesn't look like a Pokemon, it looks like this or that. But now fans say that about Game Freak's designs, right? They're like, oh, they don't look like Pokemon anymore. And I'm like, if Game Freak can't make Pokemon anymore, then who can? So I suspect down the line, if this ever really becomes a thing, I would love to, you know, I would love to at some point keep growing the meaning and definition of a POTEMPO, right? Maybe POTEMPO right now are these ancient creatures, and there's a reason, right? In my story, I've got a reason as to why I suspect why they are ancient, and, you know, it's got to fit in narratively and showcase in the designs. But then, who's to say down the line, right? Futuristic POTEMPO are discovered, right? Everything can change. Now, it's not a bad idea to maybe put at least one kind of futuristic POTEMPO. But right now, that's not something that's super interesting to me, you know? This looks pretty dang good to me. So it could be fun to somehow mix rhinos with unicorns since they were mistaken. Exactly, the Karkadan, which is a creature that I will be, you know, designing on stream. I will be doing that with a kind of like a unicorn feel potentially, because that's how people in India and you know, the Middle East described the Karkadan, which was in reality a rhino, described as a unicorn. And yeah, as Dingus said, you know. So that will definitely happen. All right, chat, what do we think? Pretty cute, right? I could add some kind of textures and stuff. Part of me wonders maybe I should make them a little rocky. Ooh, I kind of like that. So it's like a combination, you know? Hello, Toon. Welcome in, man. I love your sketch. They feel like an old ancient book. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. So pretty solid first start. Very cute. Thank you, thank you. Looks cool and cute. Hell yeah. I like this one a lot as well. I guess we jump right into the Terror Bird, which that means pretty fast. I really like being able to come up with ways to like still get the totem heads involved, but in unique ways, you know? Looks goof so far. I'm just kidding. Good. Maybe a secondary color for the feathers. Yeah, it's simple, but I felt like one extra color would help. I think it's too much for the first stage, right? It's simple, but I felt like add one extra color would help, but I think it might be too much. Yeah, it's the first stage. I don't necessarily think it needs a second color. We have three. We have yellow, the brown of the head, the blue, the white for the feather. It's a first stage, so I'm not too worried. It could be this thing where the amber is hiding maybe the beautiful kind of colors that's gonna come up, right? And then if I need to, I can always add a color again after I kind of put down the colors and design for the terror bird. Another thing that I could do, hello Rec, welcome in. I think another thing I could really do is kind of do something like maybe add like a feather, and it could have like a potential second kind of color, right? And that way it might just show that like, oh, this is the color to look out for, right? So maybe it's like a green color, right? Actually, I kind of wanted to do, I do like breaking the silhouette and like the little bit of the feather sticking out, but I think the strength is that the whole head is like this top heavy kind of design. Rendering on this rules, thank you. Definitely needs to be cleaned up, but it's okay. Now the body does feel like a penguin. Do you guys feel like Ice Cube vibes here? Because I don't necessarily need it to be... Oh, you know what? Maybe it could be something like that. Nah, let's keep it simple. Oh, you know what? Let me do that. Let me do like an extended tail. Kind of looks like a little dinosaur tail too. Okay, hello Sketch, welcome in, welcome in. All right, the gang's all here. All right, like I said, I'm very happy with this. It's very simple. It's the first stage. It could be cool to maybe add maybe like a secondary like mosquito or something in here as like a subtle nod. I don't know if I can pull that off. Hello, Oni, welcome in. Maybe elements of the Hoatzin. It's a tropical bird and the claws can help with that. Infant Hoatzin have claws that they lose as they age. So by the way, what was your first non-RPG you play? Like role-playing game? Like maybe Super Mario? Does that count? That's not a role-playing game, right? He doesn't need to breathe. He's a spirit. He's good. He's good. Let me see here. Amber Rook. The rook is a bird. It's not a penguin. Yeah, it doesn't have to necessarily be a rook to still have a name like that, but yeah, ideally it could be like Amber Baby, or if its personality was broody, Broody would be cute. Maybe it's kind of annoyed because it's got the... Ooh, it could be see, but I'm thinking like evolution kind of thing. It could be that it's trying to break through its... Like, yeah, you know, let's make him angry. He's like annoyed that he's got that on his head, right? It could be something like Ambroody. All right, I like that. Ambroody. for now. Not confirmed, but what I mean, turn-based RPG like Pokemon. What was the first one? Probably Pokemon. Brody Jones, hell yeah. Perhaps a mosquito is an element or informs the design of the second form. I don't think it needs to necessarily. Like, hell, part of me was thinking, like, what if I straight up made it a mosquito that evolved into a terror bird, which would still be cool. But bird works, obviously. What about the name Ambird? Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know why Ambird didn't hit any of us, Ambird, but it's. I think it might be a little too simple. Oh, you know what? I might give him like these big claws, like this. That might be fun. Although that's it makes it kind of hard to. Let's keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Although, you know what? I want him to feel a little more. He's looking a little too clean. He should be kind of like how Paradox Pokemon have like this kind of old feel. Like, it should be, everything feels a little too clean, so let me... Yeah, there you go, it's like a penguin dinosaur. That's cute. Something like that. But I'm meaning to ask you, I really love how you do world building. Will you ever do like an exclusive Skillshare or Patreon video on how you do your process? Angry BIRB, indeed. Or the Kakapo, New Zealand carnivorous parrots that will take apart cars for food and steal items? Wow. Thanks, I already have a few modeled in 3D. So, Sketch, to answer that question, I feel like I could do that. I don't know if I would do it. Maybe it could be a Patreon thing, but I don't think I have a big enough audience. Like, if I had at some point got so many people asking, like, Bonnie, I want to know your process, this, that, the other, then it might be something for me to do at some point. Also, you know what? Let me make it a lot more cuter and then let the Amber do the heavy lifting for the design. I think that would work better. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not against doing that, Sketch, at some point, but I don't think there's, you know, demand. In the meantime, I can just give you guys like tips, you know? It's not anything I need to put on a Patreon or something, like simpler kind of things, like, but might be something way down the line if I ever get big here on YouTube or anything. But thank you, that was very nice of you to say. I appreciate that. Esquawk, Epoch, and Squawk, that's cute. Penguisaur. Let's see. Please don't make the prehistoric dino into meals. You don't want a delicious turkey bird? Turkey birder? Is it a burger? Alright, here we go. In a sense, we get to see the creative process here. Yeah, that's true. Already, this guy's kind of gone through some fun transformations already, right? I presume people are more likely to pursue more content, even less when it costs money. Oh man, you got all the research, don't you? So, alright, this looks very good for a start. Now it's time to do the Terror Bird. So, now with the Terror Bird, as I said, Dinosaur, Dino Nuggets squared. So about the Let's Go playthrough, what's your favorite member of the team? The latest one that I did? I mean, Nidoking. I did 330, what, 5 chain straight Nidorans to find a shiny Nidoran. And then once he got powered up, he was insane. He was absolutely insane. So he was definitely my favorite, for sure. Bonny John, I don't want to... Yeah, no worries. Like I said, feel free to ask, Again, if down the line I really build like a super large audience and it's like a question I get all the time, basically it's like this, Sketch. And I think this is true for anybody who gets requests for anything. And I think that's why I'm probably doing, this week, I'm getting out the, so here we go. This week, I'm putting out this video because everyone has asked me about this guy for forever. So at some point, I knew at some point I would probably have to address it, whether or not like, hey, I'm bringing that creature to POTEMPO, and then I realized it's kind of a generic tiger, just like Tiger was. It's still cool. It's a tiger Pokemon. Like, it's not like Pyroar is anything insanely cool. But, yeah, now that I have my own tiger, I was like, might as well show the people. And so, because so many people have asked, part of why I brought bringing Pokemon Cross D&D back. Like, so many people kept asking. I'm like, I guess you can't really, I don't want to say ignore it, but, at some point, I gotta give the people what they want. See your boy Napoleon? Yeah. Empoleon. That's why most YouTubers don't do it full time until they have 100K. 8,000 people will most likely see more content outside of videos. The Tigers are on their way this Saturday. It was bottom for tough before. Rough personality give the pen a slight flash makes it. Yeah, it's simple enough to make it look. I mean, ideally, maybe I give them like some extended legs. I think could be very cute. Which would also show that it's probably going to be running around as a terror bird. But I like the juxtaposition of making him extremely bouncy, fluffy, cute. And then when he evolves, like, he's like this giant terror bird. Security birds have similar behaviors to what terror birds are. They have bash and kick creating to rocks. Security bird kicks snakes. The terror bird uses its beaks. Indeed. Do you think Pyroar should get a Mega, or is it not weird to get it? Yeah, I'm with Dingus for sure. I think it absolutely deserves a Mega. If they want to be, I don't want to say lazy about it, like in a negative way. I don't blame them for not wanting to potentially do 2 different Megas. Just do a Latios kind of thing where, it goes beyond gender and maybe they both look the same. Otherwise, maybe it's one thing where maybe the female side gets more like regular attack and then the male side gets more special attack or whatever it is, right? But I think one way or another it would be really cool for them to get. Minor 2 without many details makes a good design. I agree, Toon. Looks like it marches over a military mini. This as a plushie would look so adorable, indeed. I would so get this as a plushie. Hell yeah, I like him too. The color might change. I wonder if it would be fun to make him... The blue gives him an excellent pop, but I feel like it's reminding me of Zazu from... Maybe it's something like that. Trying out different colors. That is a good blue, though. Blue, white, yellow, brown. Oh, you know what? I guess it should be a little more encased looking. Okay, that looks good to me. And Broody is a fun name, right? And Broody. What if green? I like the green too. I want to bump up the colors for the second. Will the amber continue the next stage, or will the amber go away? I'm going to have the amber go away, as if, like, again, a nod to Jurassic Park and things of that nature, where we extracted what's inside the amber, in this case, the creature itself, right? So the second one will just straight up be the Terror Bird, and it'll be a fun one. I think I'm going to do it based on the Cassowary. I think the Cassowary would be a fun choice. And yeah, like the Terror Birds, their legs were pretty damn strong, thick. Does the amber act as light filter? Like it's always wearing, what is that, drum goggles? That could be another way to do it, but I think doing goggles might feel too close-like for my taste. So, okay, let me go ahead and get started. Pastel pink, hell yeah. Pastel pink as a shiny would go hard. Alright, so I'm going to, let me see, can you guys see this okay? Yes, exactly. Birds are so colorful, and I want to, you know, lean into that, and I like that juxtaposition, right? The Terror Bird beaks were deadly. It was a huge part of their identity. So I want to like play with the beak for sure. Thick neck, right? It can have and I'm gonna give him the tiny wings. I think that's going to look really cute, as if the wings didn't you know, like they didn't grow, but every other part of it did. Okay, some of these terror birds have these kind of cassowaries have mythological stories associated with them in Australia. One of the Ilahit said cassowaries shed their skin and turned to beautiful women. Oh, wow. Dang. Is that like a mythology I can use in the future, maybe? Let's see. Also, how do you draw paint out stuff like amber, ice, slime materials? Like, what do you do for each layer to convey the sense of something? The material, obvious, that's the material. Yeah, I think potentially a dinosaur tail, or a tail made of feathers that extend out. Just because I do want it to lean a little bit dinosaur, since I don't have a proper dinosaur. Now, to answer that question, Kofi, I draw everything in one layer, like, meaning when I render, I like to merge layers. But say, for example, like when I did the amber, I'll draw it in one layer like this, and then, maybe I'll fill in the color underneath. But it's all about buildup, right? Materials have different textures, and it's denoted usually by lighting, right? Lighting might dictate how something shines or reflects. So, for example, here, I was working from reference, right? So amber will have like these kind of mid kind of tones, not like strong shadows, right? They might be opaque. They're gonna have strong light reflecting off them, right? So it's a matter of observing and recreating delicately, right? What does the lighting look like on the rim of the object, right? All of that kind of stuff is really important. in kind of telling, you know, whatever the subject, how it should be depicted, right? Okay. Some tribes believe that the cassowaries are reincarnations of female ancestors as the primal mother. Huh. Maybe we could put that as the kind of backdrop for this guy. It's not super... maybe we could make the terror bird a feminine silhouette, kind of like Salazzle, an animal but curvy. I don't think so. I want it to be just strong looking, just cool. I mean, not that feminine doesn't look cool, but I'm guessing I'm reading more humanoid is your direction, and I don't want to make it humanoid, unless I misunderstood. I wanted to ask you this, Bon. Are there a finite amount of POTEMPOs? Can new ones be formed, and can they be destroyed permanently? That's a great question. I would say that POTEMPO are like constantly being born and reborn. Now, the exact process is probably something I don't have an answer to right now. But I would wager that maybe there's some sort of like, just to give them like a feeling. I want players to like, look, in Pokemon, for example, right? You're not going to worry when your Pokemon faints, because you know you can revive them. And obviously I don't want players to like collect a POTEMPO and then they like faint and they're gone forever, right? But I reckon that when it comes to, in general, the thought of like, oh, these guys are like spirits and stuff, right? I like the idea that like all POTEMPO kind of like, they're not like Pokemon where they evolved into these different kind of species. They're all like from the same energy source, and they're born as they were, right? Like probably in a great lineage of creatures, maybe like spirits. I don't know, they could have their own histories or tribes. Maybe it's a whole thing where like you get punished and then reborn as a weaker POTEMPO, right? Maybe not. But yeah, this is how I kind of want to do the beak, the lower beak like this, so it still looks like teeth, but then a strong... just indicate chest fluff, kind of brush shape, but barely if at all. I'm not sure about that. Sketch asks, Bonnie, will you have Easter eggs throughout the world of POTEMPO? I love finding Easter... Oh, without a doubt, man. I love Easter eggs. And those are like some of the easiest stuff you can add. It would be shameful if I didn't have those, right? So, yeah, no worries there. I will... You know, let me make the thigh really strong, and then I can have, like... Let me see how I can... No, you know what? Let me do... Yeah, that's better. I'm just looking at... It could be... I'm looking at the tails here. Will POTEMPO have recolored variants like shinies from Pokemon, or those variants from Digimon Yokai Watch, or none at all? It will have variants like shinies. It'll probably be called something like Off Tempo, or something like Lucky, or small noticeable eyelashes. Why though? Um, how about something similar to the Secretary Bird's mask? That could be the play too. I do like that. Which, funny enough, Mast is mentioning the feminine thing. Secretary Birds do have a feminine feel, right? Hello, Auroras, welcome in. Not sure if you want to use this in my own project. The creatures want to live in the human world because of how dangerous their world is. No, I want you to keep your stuff. I would say it's probably the opposite. I don't want to get too much into my own world philosophies, but I mean, I know for a fact our world is filled with a lot of danger and strife. So it's almost like the POTEMPO world is like the more peaceful world. And maybe they left our world for a reason, right? That to me is kind of like the thing that I want to kind of chase. You know? Hey, let's say blue or change to a different shade of color or take the amber. I'm not sure yet, but like I said, I'm potentially going to be using the cassowary as a source of inspiration. They are very dinosaur-like, you know, so we'll see. Have you heard the sounds shoebills make? Yeah, it's so cool. They sound insane. We have Sandy Hill Crane out here where I'm at, and they have a really cool cry as well. Already loving this Pteroraptor. Good. Bon, an idea. What if we brought back the amber to attach to its tail? It could act like a hammer. It wouldn't really make sense because the direction is like its beak is what I'm evolving, and so it could be the tip of the beak is like encased in rock, which is the terror bird's beak was their biggest weapon. Because the bill and beak and the face is protruding, it's such a major focus of its design. Might as well lean into that side rather than the tail. But I would have liked that if it was like an ankylosaur. It would make more sense for me. Love off tempo. I feel like the first stage would benefit from something on its head like feathers. I was thinking that. But there is something nice about it having such a contrast, you know? One side is super rocky and the other side is a very fluffy bird, right? Rocky and glassy, and then bottom side is fluffy and roughed out, right? Like in its own way. Let's see. You guys like off tempo? That's a good name for the shiny. All right, cool. Maybe the POTEMPO are unwilling in this transfer, PLA style. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but it might be something like that. Or at the very least, not for all of them. Redbeard. Oh yeah, red-bearded vulture would be cool. Opinion on sports, I don't care about them, and I don't know why. I love sports. Actually, I kind of hurt my calf the other day. I was hooping around by myself, shooting. And in general, you know, when I'm playing, I, tend to go all out and whatnot. But, yeah, I may have kind of not tore my calf muscle. I tore my calf muscle really bad in the past. That's what it kind of feels like right now. So I'm like trying to take a little bit of a break, you know, because I like it for the exercise. Yeah, I watch, like right now the NBA playoffs are happening. I support all my teams. Let's go Yankees. You know, the baseball season recently started up. And I mean, if you don't like baseball or any sports, that's fine. If you don't like, usually what happens is people have to kind of introduce you to it. I feel like a lot of times it might be something where if your dad likes a team, right? My dad wasn't particularly into sports, but you know, the very first piece of clothing he bought me was a Yankees onesie. And now look, I'm on stream with a Yankee, not fitted, but a Yankee cap. Amberbeak would be dope too. Do we ever go by the idea of POTEMPO visible with the naked eye? I've decided that I want it to be that not everyone is able to see them. And again, I don't want to give away too many secrets, but let's just say if they're big kind of events, maybe normies can see them as well. Like maybe their power, like the power of a particular POTEMPO is, you know, like I would say something like the dust bunny everyone can see, but then, you know, a lot of people may not take POTEMPO seriously or consider them urban legends, but or maybe they don't know the severity of their strength and danger. Because I mean, most of the time I think in my, like, I make them like not very harmful, you know. Getting closer to something I like. I want to really push like the beak or something, you know? Ooh. Or it could be that... Okay, I think I know what I want to do. Ooh, wait a second. So somehow, I wasn't using the cassowary here, but I'm getting some interesting stuff happening, chat. What do you guys think so far? Let me look at cassowary. Yo, Deebs, I was literally just thinking about you the other day. I was like, I haven't talked to my mans in a bit. Hope he's doing well. Hope you're doing well, buddy. That's a messed up looking dog? What the? Beak design is going to be amazing. Hell yeah. I'm not big on sports, but I do like 5 martial arts. Okay. All right, pop off, sir. I do want to do rock climbing. Stop injuring yourself. I know, I stay hurting myself. Yeah, in high school, I used to do track. I was on the bowling team. I tried out for baseball. Didn't make it, but I would do touch football with my friends and stuff. Yeah, it's okay. Not all people are the same exactly. Pretty much all Cubans watch baseball and boxing. Yup, it's true. So POTEMPO are kind of like JoJo stands. Yes and no is kind of a fun way to say it. JoJo's Bizarre POTEMPO, hell yeah. I used to be a fan of POTEMPO, but now I'm a stand. It's becoming more and more epic. Dino BIRB power, indeed. Yeah, honestly, I do want to play more sports. Like, I get to hoop and just shoot around by myself if no one plays, you know? The expression, you guys like it? I wonder if it needs a crest, but I kind of like its hair that I gave it. The wooden head on the first stage turning into a skull-like shape in the second stage, now the tribal. I love Cubone, so to me, like, you know, I'm gonna love to hear that. Alright, let me start doing some colors. And in particular, what I'm gonna do is, again, I kind of want to base it on the cassowary because it's a beautiful color. So, looks arrogant. I like how the nice, good. I'm glad. Thank you, Avery. So it feels, and you know what? Honestly, blue is such a goated color for this because the amber of the face. Keep this hair. Yeah, I like the hair, right? And so here, if I do something like this, and I really make it a colorful kind of bird, the cassowary also has some beautiful reds in it too. So this Brody has an interesting mohawk like this. And so I'm wondering Okay, so let me see. Maybe I'll put red here. I'll put like red here. A cubone conversion that's a bear like cub bone? Oh yeah, Barrelac. Alright, and then I'm gonna do black for the fur kind of thingy there. Again, I want this guy to be colorful, so blue, red, and now I'll make those yellow and the legs blue. Goated. Goated. One time goat skis. Alright, let's render this guy. Kind of like the deep blue. Maybe it's black. Yeah, let me keep the back simple a little bit. Oh, and then you know what? We'll take the black here for these claws right here. And then I'm gonna take the yellow for the eyes. Do I want yellow for the eyes? It could be this bright yellow. Let me try red. Red I don't hate. However, I feel like I don't hate the red. But I do like the yellow. I could go green. Oh, I think I'm gonna do the green. Just to add as much color as I can. All right, let's render this guy out. And because, you know, this is a 2-stage day, chat, I'll be working on another design or two on stream today. We're about an hour in. Let's see maybe if I can finish rendering this in like, say, 20 minutes. At the very least, I could do one more. And Broody. He's cooking, hell yeah. Like, the color palette, red ad looks good, awesome. Well, this guy feels like he would shoulder check you. Yeah, exactly. It would be funny if it's like Digimon evolved into a muscular tribal dinosaur bird, man. Yeah, that would happen, Digimon. Okay. Now, I didn't include the cassowary's crest to show you guys the cassowary. Here's the cassowary. Some cassowaries have these like hanging thingies. I don't know if I want to do that. See, so here's the cassowary and it's got like this thingy and this other thingy right here. You see this kind of like mohawk thing? I don't know if I want to give my guy a mohawk. But I don't think I would hate it either. Like, it could add like an interesting shape, you know? Kind of hate it. Okay, so question: when picking a color palette for characters, what's your thought process like? And have you ever went back and changed colors? And oh my god, guys, I change all the time. With color palettes, like, you know, for this one, I happen to, you know, base it off of a real world creature, right? So it's not like I had to really think of too much, you know? So if anything, maybe the most creative I got with this, and it's getting really hot here, is getting the amber for the face, right? So if that were the case, right? Well, there has to be some balance, right? And then there's obviously creative liberty, right? Even though it's a cassowary, I think cassowaries' beaks are usually like black, which I don't hate this either, actually. That looks pretty darn cool too. Because it does stand out against the orange of the amber, you know? Yeah, otherwise, of course, color palettes like change all the time, right? Does it convey a character's, you know, relation to being a hero or a villain, right? In this case, right, knowing that birds are colorful, leaning into making a dangerous, colorful looking bird feels like the right way to go, right? It's a nice way to kind of combine two worlds, right? I'm glad you guys mentioned Cubone, because Cubone's one of my favorite Pokemon alongside Mewtwo and stuff. So I was like, oh, it's kind of crazy how I have a lot of homage to Pokemon, yet no Cubone representation. And that's kind of what ended up happening here. Right? Pterodactyl POTEMPO hits so hard, so epic and powerful. Hell yeah. Could POTEMPO be rideable, or would they hate that? I don't think they would hate that. I would think that, you know, maybe there are some that are better suited for riding. The notion of like sitting down and deeming who would be like a ride POTEMPO is super daunting. And so it's not impossible in any way, shape, or form. But again, things like ride is something that came so late in Pokemon. I don't even have like a working game concept yet. So for me, it's not even worth trying to figure out, oh, who's a ride POTEMPO? That's why I'm like, I'd rather just create kind of like a motorbike type of thing, kind of like Miraidon and Koraidon, right? And then you guys get to customize your hover bikes. And I would picture you traverse the map with that. Because you make one POTEMPO a ride, then people are going to be like, why isn't this one? Why isn't that one? And then you've got to like all of a sudden now animate how many different POTEMPO. You got to test all of those guys, make sure all of them work in the overworld. It's a lot, you know? So I think there's probably like some designated POTEMPO that could potentially do something like that, right? It's not out of the question. Do I want to do... I do like the blue, but now that I've seen the black, I kind of prefer... It could be a thing where it's blue into black. Like this. Maybe that for now. Okay, so we'll keep rendering these out. It's cool because it does have like a tribal feel at the same time because it's ancient, but that's not the direction at all, like it's wearing a mask. It's the amber is the face, you know? Yeah, a bit new to art. When I did with color, I just slapped some random colors and see what sticks. And then don't forget, people come up with awesome palettes. You know, they're like palette sites that, you know, you can find awesome built out palettes that you can try and use for your characters, you know? Love the strong colors. I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy that amber color was kept in the beak. Me too. Sometimes I kind of struggle with color palettes, and to me, looking too busy or not enough. Yeah, and it's only gonna happen after practice and stuff, right? Like, try, like, for example, look up, as funny as it sounds, like colorways for sneakers, right? Those are professional designers who are like finding awesome colorways, right? Because they've got to sell that as a product. So sometimes they take risks and they flop. Other time, you know, they know exactly what to put into a design. You know? What was all that? Oh my god. But yeah, like, for sure it's all about a happy medium and finding something that ultimately, I mean, many ways, right? Color palette could certainly denote someone's like entire style. Some people might be known for grayscale or minimal colors. Maybe another person's known for you know, maybe something like bright neon colors or pastel colors, right, for a soft feel. So just keep, you know, absorbing art. That's really the only thing you can do, right? Absorb art, find like color palettes that inspire you, and try them out, right? Nobody owns color palettes. I'm gonna have the wing tufts be kind of like I said, small. You know what? Part of me thinks, yeah, let me just bring that up like this. And I'll probably do blue for the, no, let me do red for the tips. I might, yeah, like, even these colors, right? They look good, right? Don't get me wrong, they look good, but I might work on this down the line and then think like, oh, I gotta readjust these colors. It's too much, or it's too this, or too that. So chat, do we have any idea what you guys want to see me create next after this? Because I probably will be finishing this up pretty dang soon. I want to eventually find again the right balance of cartoony yet fleshed out well enough, you know? I'm gonna take a break. It's been an hour 20. I haven't stretched. Cockatrice looking bird. Would you ever do a POTEMPO based on eggs or the cosmic egg? The cosmic egg would be really cool. I have a way I can incorporate that for one of my legendaries, so I won't say anything further more than that. If you like that line from Chronicles of Narnia that they actively choose to let you ride them. Imagine if this invisible bird breaks into your livestock, you hear the clicks, but you don't see the thing responsible, just the seemingly floating guts of your sheep. Why is it invisible? Yeah, early on you can't get married to egg. Exactly. Especially early on. I hope when you fully render this beak, face, and claws all look glossy like amber. Ideally, that's the case. I think the bottom aspect, no. Probably just the face. Birds and bugs are also great examples for color palettes, exactly, right? Taking notes, good. No, this is only going to be a 2-stage line tune, so it'll just stop right here. Ostriches, emos, cassowary, reeds, and kiwi can't find. Yeah. What's on your list? Maybe a single stage? Maybe the Makara or the Lukarol sketch. I have an old video where I talk about color a bit. Alright, cool. We have at least the Lukarol. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I always say it like that. Funny enough, I was thinking Lou Karkolk, because it's not something that I could put on the stream title. Like, I'm drawing a Lou Karkolmon, and then people are like, who or what is that? And then equally, I can't just be like, I'm drawing a snail, and people are like, okay, have fun. It's not a super exciting animal. Ideally, I want to work on a creature that either I've worked on already, or something that's more, oh, I know what we could work on. I know what we can work on. Chat, I know exactly what. I think the black is too strong for my taste. Here's the transformation out for render. Yeah, I feel like it's too... Oh, I like that a little better. It was too dark, I think. Let me also... I don't want to add like these kind of feathery texture along the tail, you know? You guys like this one? Alright, not bad. Very cute first line. Naga would be neat. I do have a Naga line. Maybe more of a charcoal than pure black. Yeah, exactly, Ken. It was more like a rendering thing on my part, right? Love it so much? Hell yeah. Let me see. Don't get me wrong, my Asteraptor is very cool too. But I like this guy more because he's my son. I made him. Yeah, there's definitely areas that I can fix. Looks like it would be moody. Yeah, I think, and it's perfect because the second or the first form is pretty moody too. All right. now that that's done, what if it's got an evolution in future game? We go full Quetzalcoatl Feathered Serpent. I don't think it would, but that would be cool. Our POTEMPO and human relations, a bit of recent development in the world, are very ancient. So there's definitely been stories of POTEMPO forever. I would say that only more recently, people have been trying to understand them more. I think people are understandably scared of them because they hear stories and maybe they've heard bedtime stories. So it's a relatively recent kind of phenomenon, right? Maybe there's a specific reason why more people are able to see them interact in their world and they're scared, and that they need to have like wranglers, right? Who have to go and like, you know, wrangle or stop them from causing too much havoc. Not that they're outwardly violent kind of creatures, but what would happen if... Dude, that color palette looks sick. Hold on, let me see. Wait, I think I like this like sky blue one more. This one is fire too. Okay, I like that color. And then now that I have a color, maybe I can... No, that's not good. Give him red and blue. That's kind of fun. Red, blue, and yellow. Rather than just making blue and white. Yeah, maybe I'll do something like that. Or I could just straight up make him... I don't hate the yellow and black with maybe blue toes. Because... in this case, so the amber is doing some of the heavy lifting, but maybe it's okay for it to... I could say that because it's an ancient POTEMPO, maybe, you know, there's nothing super crazy about its evolution. Colors like it. I want this one as my personal bodyguard. Yeah, you can make it happen. Don't go to the spooky house so the jack pear freezes and eats you. Yeah. We do some human characters POTEMPO. Absolutely. I want to do that on stream very, very soon. Okay. So now that these guys are good, let me go ahead and put these on here. So it's 8:09. I've got about a good 50 minutes left. I'm gonna put, oh yeah, here we go. Ta-da! So there was the raptor right here. Bam, put them there. Maybe the Dex's name could be an acronym. Epoch. Oh, I like that. Maybe it could be something like that, Mast. That I like. Ooh. I might want to do epic. Like the, you know, epic was considered like an awesome story. So it's like a storybook of Mons. So it could be something like... I might do something like that. Will this final stage be more downward tribal? Yeah, it only evolves once. Okay, so what can I do today? I could work on a Mandrake and then evolve that into. No, you know what? I could do Swamp Thing and Mandrake on another day because I feel like that would be one that could carry a thumbnail. Plague Rat, Virus. I'll do another day. Hyena? No, that's definitely. It might be Luke Hulk. Do you guys want me to do the Luke Hulk? Oh man. I say that because there's an H at the end. You know? Take a look at yesterday's video too. No. I'll figure it out for the thing because I don't know if it's going to be electronic or not. It probably won't be, but. Oh, you know what? What if I evolved? No, because this is yet another slug creature. So I don't know. I feel like. Oh. I could do Makara, right? Makara couldn't carry a thumbnail. People don't really know what that is. Right? You guys don't know what Makara is if I say that. Yeah. Or we could do the Mananganal. Mananangal. No, you know what? Yeah, I'll do Lukarcho. Alright, chat, let's learn about the Lukarcho, the mythical creature, okay? So, hey, if I ask, imagine you had a POTEMPO fighting game? Oh, hell yeah, that would be awesome. Like, Pokken? Where it would be like a select few. It would probably be the humanoid characters, right? Like Garuda and Harpy, Wukong, Rakshasa. And they all come fighting each other, right? So I'm gonna read to you Le Carcol, okay? Or the Carcol is a mythical beast from French folklore. It is described as a large, slimy, snail-like serpent with hairy tentacles and a large shell. It is said to live in a cavern beneath Hastings, a town in Les Lances region in southwest of France. Sorry to all my French people, I know I butchered your shit. The Carcol slime could sometimes be seen long before the creature itself arrived. Nobody dared to approach the creature, as unwary persons would be grabbed by its tentacles, dragged into its cave, and devoured whole. The Carcol is a nickname given to the city of Hastings, in the French department of Landes, due to its situation on a rounded-shaped hill, where there are no, the men of Hastings used to say, as a pleasant warning to young and pretty women, the Carcol will catch you. Alright. Easy. Fighting game POTEMPO. If we're going non-electrical, like I said, don't worry about names and stuff. Again, I don't want to use your guys' suggestions and then you guys sue me later for anything, even though I have this thingy here to protect me. But yes, that's why I don't really ask for names and stuff. But I appreciate it. It's good conversation still. All right, Here's a depiction of it. I don't know what's so special about it here. But, okay. Did you guys see that? Yeah. Let's start with Oh, you know what I'll do? No, let's do that at the end. I was gonna do the scale thing, but I'm going to start. Chat, this is something I will ask you for. Give me a cool snail that I can use for both first and second forms. I can get 2 ones. I did a long time ago. I watched Monty Python. What if the totem was the shell? Exactly what I was going to say, Kofi. Exactly what I was thinking. So I'm gonna look up in the meantime. You guys can look up as well and tell me if you know of any unique snails. But that's exactly what I wanted to do. It could be this thing where maybe it's more like the face could be in the back, and it's like either moving backwards or, you know, it's gonna be pretty simple, right? The flail snail. All right, let's write these down. The flail snail, the turban snail, cone snail, harpoon snail, dinosaur snail, garden snail. Garden snail is not a cool one. I've seen this one. Garden snail. So it could still have a rounded. Oh, it's going to be very ammonite coated. I can already hear people saying, it looks too much like ammonite. You know what? So then it could. So its head can be this. Oh, you know what? And then he can have his little antennae coming out from here. Not a snail, but cool shell. How about the scaly foot snail for the look? Scaly foot snail. Nautilus. Nautilus I want to use for my dog Cthulhu. The snail names are so aggressive, right? I know. They're such cutie patooties, the snails. Alright, so let's start with the flail snail. I'm going to show you guys... Oh, that's a D&D thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, I've seen this thing. Turban snail. Turban snail goes hard. That's a beautiful snail. All right. Cone snail. Oh. Cone snail is cool. Harpoon snail, same thing. Dinosaur snail. It's not a real thing. Garden snail, no. Scaly foot. Ew! It looks gross. It looks like vomit. It's weird but cool. It just gives you the shivers. Why not make it look like the Beholder? That's true too. The assassin snail. Boy. Assassin snail. Oh, it's got like a yellow and black kind of, looks like a bumblebee. Bumblebee. Where it has one eye in the middle and many other eyes behind resembling Medusa hair. I can't think of the name, but the one snail with the iron shell that lived near, I think that's the scaly foot snail, potentially. I have a cone snail based on Marisha. I doubt you want to use it the same way so I can share. Based on Marisha? No. I want you to keep your stuff, man. Your stuff is very unique to you. I don't wanna take your stuff, dog. I appreciate it though. Alright, so flail snail, no, because that's like an existing thing that feels more D&D. Like, whereas some things in D&D feel like a little more open to get variation like gelatinous cube. Alright, so let's keep this snail can be... What could I make the first form? It could be a run-of-the-mill snail. I'm not against that. But is there any other mythos that I can use that could, you know, be the base for the Luca call? Will you make a cowboy POTEMPO? No. Unless there's like a legendary mythical cowboy, but even then, like, I'd want to like stay away from making it, you know, what's the word? Like feel like too humanoid, right? I don't really want to do a cowboy with like a cowboy hat, even if you know the cowboy hat was made to feel more natural, right? Part of me wants to connect this to my jelly line, you know, but that's like more of a classic. Several snail and slug yokai. Okay, yeah. What do we got there? I just looked at some of these snails. I lost my appetite. Imagine. What about the giant Japanese snail? It's like a mountain hard as iron. It's supposed to be good luck. There's a snail parasite, a species of flatworm that lives inside the eyes of snails. We would save it up for. I think more than anything, I want to like see if I can base it to another mythos. Like, so snail yokai into say a French mythical, like is more my speed. Calbesius? How about the Sarmatian sea snail? I mean, that sounds cool. Snails fighting knights. This is true. Why is that, chat? Why do they do that? Oh, so it's a mythical creature. The shell-shaped ad does it tend to make it look like a TV. Yeah. We have the Shusebora and the Namekujira. Sazai Oni. Yeah, that one I think inspires Slowbro. Banana slug, but banana. Honestly, I'm... Banana slug. Pretty cool guy. Banana slug is cool. Oh, interesting. The Sarmatian sea snail. I could maybe make it... Yeah, like a seashell. Want to make an alien that like to hypnotize his prey by looking at them, referencing those hypnotic TVs? Because it doesn't really connect to... You know, snail. Indeed snail. Although we had a really fun, cool first half, Hikari. Welcome in. Let me see. So I'm going to look up then... Okay, I like... Yes, don't worry, I got you right here. Shushibora. So the Shushibora. Oh, interesting. I might do this guy. And I can make it a cool slug dragon. Wait, is that what Gumi becomes? Namekujira. Let me look up Namekujira. Gigantic Suragi. Yokai found in Japanese folk tales are mostly known for their great size and the fact that they would leave behind massive trails of slime. Other than that, they acted much like ordinary garden slugs and thus pose no true danger. Okay, so those guys are a little lame. They're just regular degulars. But maybe this first guy, and I make him like a really cute, like Appleton. Is that his name? Appleton? He's just like a cute little. I can make it a cute dragon slug potentially. That's Gudra. Yeah, so that's what Gudra is, huh? Maybe in that case, maybe I'll go Sarmatian sea snail. Let me see. Very odd creature. Oh, by a French surgeon. No. I think this might be the way to go because this was depicted by a French surgeon. So Sarmatian sea snail becoming Luca-Hulk, another Applin, becoming Luca-Hulk makes a lot more sense. So I'm going to read to you the direction here. So, Barry's source of his creature was Andre de Devant, 20th volume of Cosmography. In this book was a report of a massive pod, antlered and completely grotesque gastropod from the Sarmatian, the early name for the Baltic Sea. The wine-cast thick snail was quickly distinguished by a numerous amount of unusual features. The first and most notable was the large deer-like antlers bore upon its head. Alright, so let me start drawing deer-like antlers on my guy. And I'll make it like simple, because this is just a baby form. So this is the Sarmatian. Nice, so this is another mythology thing, you know? Sarmatian sea snail. So he's gonna have the antlers. Okay, he's got the antlers. Now let's continue the description. At the end of each antler branch was a small spherical bulb representing pearls. Oh, maybe we could do some sort of like interesting not a TV angle, but like, yeah, their antennae kind of feel that way, huh? While other gastropods' eyes sit upon optical stalks, this snail's eyes sat laterally upon its head. Yeah. Since it's a POTEMPO, its eyes will be inside. Even more oddly about their eyes, the fact that they glue like candles. It even sported some feline features such as a cat-like nose and white whiskers. Below these whiskers hideously sat a wide slit of a mouth. While gastropods sported a locomotive foot, this snail actually sported feet, hooked paws to be more precise. It even boasted a lengthy, multicolored, and tigerine tail. The only snail-like feature was a large whorled shell. Okay, so let's do... So I'm gonna give it the like claws like this. And I'll still make it kind of like a slug and have it like long like this. Escar goop. Alright, let me go back to this thing here. It's got a tail, so maybe... do I need to give it a tail? Oh, maybe I'll just have the slime tail kind of come back out like this. Video kill the radio star. Here we go. Alright, cool. So here's like a unique snail. So it's got like hooked paws, multicolored tail. Despite its hideous and somewhat comical appearance, it was said to be a very timid and calm creature, typically staying at high sea. Twisted flesh was to be very tasty and healthy. Nudibranches do not exceed... Oh, maybe I can give it nudibranch features. Although I'm going to save that for like Godzilla potentially. Okay, I think this works. No one knows exactly why there's so many medieval paintings of knights versus snails, says Dingus. Some say it's for humor, others say that it's a representation of knights fighting their cowardice and snails hide and all that. Cute little Sushibora POTEMPO turns into giant menacing loop called POTEMPO. No, it'll be not Shishibora, but it will be Sarmatian sea snail, both French. A cat snail, maybe. Maybe the aliens are like false eye stalks, maybe. So does this slug concept going for a mythical side? No, definitely the mythical side. Gary? The TV side, why not give it tail color stripe to make it look like a cable? No. You're thinking too much kind of like Pokemon, right? Like combining, say, a TV with this thing. I'm just more than anything trying to recreate the mythologies in my own unique way. You know? You have a good idea, don't get me wrong. But, again, I don't want to fall into, I'm not saying this in a negative way, but the trap of, say, Pokemon thinking, right? I want to see how I can make the mythos, right? It would be good to definitely use more aquatic features, but, okay, let me look up some more snail stuff. Oh yeah, you know what? So maybe he could have... Well, this guy looks pretty crazy. I mean, I feel like he might be able to set up a Cthulhu, right? Because I feel like he's really alien-like. So I wonder if I should save this guy as the first form of Cthulhu. So maybe I save this guy for Cthulhu and I do Seshibora after all. Because I do plan on giving my Cthulhu a... what do you call it? A Nautilus kind of feel. Yo, take care, Oni. Thank you for hanging out. Lagerfjord, serpent creature originated near Lagerfjord Lake. A woman gave her daughter a ring and she put it under a slug. The snake was so big it scared the girl who threw it to the lake. Let's look this up. Lagerfjord. I don't see serpent. Snail? I don't see snail either. Dueline going through different mollusks would be cool. Yeah. Alright, so you know what? Let me still develop this guy out. Because... yeah, like, you guys see what I'm saying? Like, it's got, like, the hooked hands, as the description said. And it kind of looks like it could be, like, Cthulhu... Cthulhu adjacent, right? With the tentacle features. Oh, water serpent? No, it wouldn't fit this line, unfortunately. Let's do... yeah, even the color, I don't even know why I chose such a dinky color. Yeah, chat. I think we make this the Cthulhu first form, no? Which then, you know, in a subtle way, the whole antennae thing being like its way to maybe like communicate on a psychic level would be pretty cool, right? And then this guy looks crazy. Seshobora after all, maybe. But at least we got the potential first form of of Cthulhu. So what would be the second form for Cthulhu? Like, what mythos? It would need to be an aquatic one. Oh, it could be alien-esque as well. Could be another HP Lovecraftian thing, but ideally something that's more well-known. Yeah, Cthulhu definitely needs his own stream, so I won't work on this one too much. So yeah, I'll leave this one right here, and I can like work on it a little more on a Cthulhu day. Save this guy. Mind Flayer? Oh yeah, the Mind Flayer could be the second form. Yeah. It's not true mythos, but I've done Owlbear, right? I've done Gelatinous Cube. Maybe the totem is outside and Ring of the Tree be at the Ring of the Shout. At its side and Ring of the Tree. Explain. I'm not really tracking. So maybe one of Cthulhu's children, who definitely don't look like. I don't think they're as known, so maybe not that. I like jumping between mythos. Let this one slow cook. Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. Man, those pants with electric spikes. Shusha Borda. So, okay, let me read to you from yokai.com, okay? So yokai.com, they can't be, you know, they know what they're talking about. The Shusei Borda. Translation: the promoted giant trident. Habitat: migrates from mountains to valleys and finally to seas. Diet: doesn't show a diet here. Appearance: like many animals, giant tritons, Charonia tritonus, a kind of sea snail similar to a conch, can turn into yokai after living for a very long time. What if POTEMPO were regular animals and then they become POTEMPO? Hold on. Alright, just keeping that on the side, and I will continue my art journey. It's 8:38. Okay, I do want to close the stream by... It's 2 hours... We're 2 hours in now. I want to call stream, say, in 30 minutes. So... if I don't... You know what? I'll do this. I'm going to design Lucar Hulk first. Okay? I think if I design that first, that's the more developed concept. Kraken. I was considering the Kraken, but the thing is, the Kraken is a pretty damn epic creature, and to make it the second form, I decided against it. You know? Lovecraft's Elder thing is a very interesting design. What I mean are those panther holes with those lightning rods. That concept, will there be an angel POTEMPO? Maybe in a part 2. Maybe it's a god. Like a wheel of cheese instead of the totem being on the flat on its... Oh! Like a wheel of cheese on the flat side on its round side. I think I know what you're saying, but are you saying kind of like Ammonite, maybe? Or maybe it's just a more thin kind of shape like that. Elbow squid, big fin squid. I mean, not so much for sure. I want to, know, but again, we're gonna save that for the Cthulhu stream, so we don't have to worry about it now. But yeah, I want to combine like a mythos with like an animal we haven't had yet. So when a giant triton reaches an age of several thousand years, it turns into a draconic creature called a Shushibora. Long ago, it was believed that giant tritons live deep in the mountains. They spend their lives buried under the earth. They grow larger and larger until after 3,000 years, they descend from the mountains to the valleys or landslides. They spend 3,000 more years living near human villages until they finally burrow into the sea. After 3,000 more years underwater, they transform into a Mizuchi, kind of sea dragon. Let's see. So, should a Shushibora be the first or the second in its line? Like, or should I make the Lukarkalk evolve into a Shushibora? The Shushibora seems pretty majestic. It would be cool to make him a... But he's less of a... I feel like I should keep him as a dragon rather than... Because he's a dragon. I could translate him into a slug, but I feel like that's doing him a disservice. Once or twice. It'll be twice. Bon, I can't see the cloaca. You didn't forget to draw it. No, I definitely have it. I'll leave this comment every time you draw a bird. I wouldn't have it any other way, Alex. There's a Lusca monster in Caribbean mythology with a shark and half octopus. Oh, that could be the... Yeah, that's cool. Maybe yeah, it could be that... Yeah, maybe Lukarkalk is the first, and then it evolves into a Shushibora. That feels kind of right to me. I think that might be it. And yeah, Draco, save that for the Cthulhu. Okay, so I'm trying to see what the look... Regional folklore, lives in a cavern, was described as large, slimy, snail-like serpent with hairy tentacles and a large shell. 50 feet in length. Its body is covered in slimy, greenish-gray scales, and its tentacles are thick and hairy. The creature's shell is also a distinguishing feature. Do you like Wizardmon? I'm not familiar with Wizardmon. Like, imagine the totem being on its round side. Yeah, I can see that. So, it's... Okay, yeah, I can see that. That could be cool, too. Often compared to other mythical creatures such as the Kraken and the Basilisk. Now, do I want to do Shushibora as the second? A slug into a dragon. It's not... I don't mind that. But I do want to see if... Snails in mythology. Fairy Triton's trumpet. Shell... You know what? Maybe it could be shells in mythology and then the shell... Shankar's shell is one of the most important elements in Hindu mythology. What if I made like a shell POTEMPO and then it becomes Lukarkalk? But then again, I've said that I don't mind when animals like, you know, pivot or POTEMPO pivot, you know? Chat, this is hard. Techtical bore a snail shell on his back, but still wouldn't really be able to evolve the concept from that too much. conch shell, right? Life protector, Tibetan Buddhism, cowrie shell, scallop shell, and coral. Because, yeah, then I'm looking at Shushabora. I wouldn't want him to be the second form either. I feel like that would be a third stage. Okay, maybe, you know what? The Shelly coat? I think I know what I can do. Maybe it will be a bogeyman that haunts rivers. The coat of shells these creatures seems to wear. Oh, interesting. The coat of shells which rattle on movement. Type of bogeyman. They may mislead. Proud, drafting, then laughed at the distracted William. Oh, interesting. Nerites, the god who became a snail. See, I'm still not sure how I would translate. That's the only thing. I think this is what I can do. So, I will probably do, of the two yokai that Draco shared earlier, I'm trying to find it. It's... Where did it go? It was Seshabora, and it was just a really large snail. I can just make it that, and it could just be an excess amount of goo. Right? And that's a simple and chill enough kind of concept for the first form, which would still be a mythological entity. Right? I'm just going to type snail yokai here. Sazai Oni, we did hear about this one earlier too. Group of pirates who rescued drowning women from the sea. Cut off their testicles, what the hell? Resembling large mollusks, type of obake. Sazai Oni could be the one I go for. Although Sazai Oni into a Shushabora would be nice. Kamikiri? What is this? Hold on. Kamikiri yokai. Little Amber Candy. Hello, welcome in, Danny. Good to see you. Yeah, they're pretty cool, right? Namekujira. Slug, actually. Gotcha. Why does it have to be snail to snail? Why not clam? It could be, but I'm trying to find, you know, some sort of shell or clam or something. Namekujira into Lukaho. Thank you, Danny. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Yeah, let me try and see. Kamikiri, hair cutter. Secretly cut people's hair? What the hell? That's not what I was looking for. Namekujira. So all it really was, again, is a gigantic slug-like yokai found in Japanese folktales and were mostly known for their great size and the fact that they would leave behind massive trails of slime. So they don't really look unique or anything. Let's see how I can make... Not have any ideas, most of my Pokemon related weird. Do you think the antenna can hypnotize its prey, absorb the energy that can feed on to be stronger? I mean, it could, but I probably won't go in that direction, you know? Alright, so let's just do Namekujira. It was just an oversized slug. So why don't I do unique type of slugs? So you know what? Maybe this one won't have... This won't have the... Okay, so this is fun. Aphrodite clam into Cupid's snail. Snails have harpoons and arrows, and Aphrodite was born from a clam. Flail snail D&D. Alex, we did get that suggestion earlier. Aphrodite, the Mepokai. Let's look up Mepokai. Extreme shellfish. Looks like a clam or some kind of shellfish with a few very important differences. For one, it has a pair of eyes on the outer shell, the last place you'd expect a shellfish to sprout eyes. The rest of its shell is covered with sharp spines. It also has whiskers and a tail which makes it look like a bit like a mouse. The wedge-shaped parts at the bottom of the shell... This works! Cone snail, Mastodon. There's also a cone snail that loves drugs. Huh? That love drugs. Guys, the Mepokai is pretty cool. Okay, I might do Mepokai. So let me read it to you, okay? Shen clam monster? Oh, I think that's basically just like sushi. Yeah, it's basically, I think, the Chinese version. Large shellfish associated with change of shape, change of mirages, identified as Sultan. Shen clam monster. Let's see. Sea slugs are very unique. This is true. Although the Lukarkok won't be, you know, mouse clam to the snake snail. Let's see. Oh, I see, Alex. Gotcha. I was like, wait a second, what does that mean? Alright, so here's some... I'm seeing a lot of cool sea slugs versus regular slugs, you know? Mepokai. Oh, okay, so here we go. A mysterious shellfish with two eyes on their spiky bivalve shells. They also have a pair of wing-like flippers, as well as whiskers and a tail like that of a mouse. Mepokai only appear in painted form. No written legends or descriptions of them exist. What they do is entirely a mystery. Bakemono Sugushi Imaki, 19th century scroll featuring paintings of several strange and undescribed yokai. Mepo, and this is Buddha's term. The Cthulhu one will be for another day, Toon. So that way... So basically it's a clamshell evolving into a snail shell, which I don't dislike. You know what? Let me just start drawing. We've been researching quite a bit, right? Let me do... So it won't be Shishibora, but I'll save it for the side. Aphrodite was born from the sea. Sea foam, which was kicked up after Skyward was unwillingly castrated by his son. His testes fell into the sea. That's why she's a love goddess, yes. Actually, I do know that story because that painting is very famous and they teach that to you in art history. Okay. It's misbehaving, so let's see. How do I make this? Oh, wait a second. Why won't it? Hold on, let me reset my Photoshop. All right, here's round 2. Shishibora. Move that to the side. I guess, so maybe we'll do Luke Hulk another day. It's crazy how long it took to figure out the direction here. Maybe I should have done Luke Hulk first, because then it'll help me evolve it backwards, right? The Namekusira is just a slug, but it's gigantic. So let's just... Maybe for a first stage, it's really chunky. Oh, maybe... So maybe it's like really massive and chubby. Maybe I'll do something like this where its slime trail is like on the ground. Is this clam or snail? It's gonna be a slug. I think I'm gonna go with this. This is called a Namekusira, which is basically just an oversized slug. So whether or not it sticks, I don't know. But again, next time I realize what I should do, especially for a creature like Luke Hulk, I should have just drawn that first and then work backwards. You know? That feels like the right way to have gone. So we'll have to do maybe Luke Hulk tomorrow. No worries, Dr. Crowbar. Welcome in, welcome in. Okay, so slug is basically the common name for any apparently shellless terrestrial gastropod mollusk. So I'm going to give it, yeah, a general shape like this. I'm going to lift its head up. And why don't I have it like... The totem is... Its eyes are in the stalk, right? So, yeah, what if the totem, exactly like was described earlier, Snail Child will be a cutie? Maybe. Let's see if it is. So, yeah, why don't I have the totem sideways? Because a snail doesn't necessarily have a regular face. But yeah, this isn't a true snail, or slug I should say. But let me just see. I'll lift its head up like this. So, what if its face was on the side? You know? Like this. That would be an interesting way to make a unique slug, I think. Right? What do we think? My hand, yes, thank you, thank you. So, since I was able to just kind of research, I feel pretty okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And so its eyes could be right here. What do you guys think? I'm looking at a lot of snails and they've got these... They've got these kind of mouth thingies here. which I think might be too much. Should I just maybe give it a big mouth here? Giving a new perspective to side-eye, right? Putting the face on the side, make it seem like paranoid, like it's always watching its back. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, Ruck, I do like that. I can do something like that, where it's like... Because normally the stalks are its eyes, right? So then by doing it like this, it does give it a fun... And I kind of want to just... Oh, look, and then this kind of pattern just makes it look like it's got more eye holes. Which is nice, right? Needs just a bit of personality. Yeah, so the ring on its body, it's power or luck? No, that's the totem. That's the, you know how all the POTEMPO have like totem faces? This slug is my house. Yeah, exactly, right? Alright, I kind of like this. That's kind of cool. That's pretty unique. Big stupid smile. I know, right? It's kind of simple, but it's pretty nice. Be so dope. He could have two totems on each stalk. You know what? That's really cute too. That is really cute idea. Oh, that's another fun way to do it. You know, Alex, that is a really fun way to do it. Like, in case I... Oh, that's fun too. Maybe it might be that. Because, yeah, the thing is... Exactly, that question mask, I think that just makes it a little... Let me remove the eyes and the body. As fun as that is, don't get me wrong, it doesn't seem super practical. And sometimes some designs just need to be simple. Now, the only thing that I need to figure out is this steam prehistoric animal? What does that mean? Is this steam? Okay, so yeah, here we have... Oh man, some of these guys look really cool, these slugs. So let me do... Two-story mobile home? What a lucky guy. Yeah, let me do another simple design. Now, the thing is, it doesn't really... I think the only weakness here, chat, is that came for bird, you get snail, you like it. Hey, listen, we finished the bird, right? That guy's done. I finished him an hour ago. Oh, look at this guy. He's so cute. Hold on, let me see if I can copy image. Alright, it doesn't want to copy it, chat, so I guess I can't share it. That's annoying. You consider give it fur. The way you draw the slime pattern reminds me of fur. Yeah, this is a bird. You can tell because of the exactly. Duh. Okay, so tail, foot fringe, foot pneumostome, sensory tentacles. Again, how do I make this feel like a Japanese yokai, chat? That's the only issue now. I'm looking at the parts of this slug and trying to make it work. He was basically a massive... Oh, his sensory tentacles stick out. Maybe I can make them like a mustache? Maybe that flap of slime is the mouth? Oh, he's a stream about prehistoric. No, the first one was the first design that I did, which was a terror bird. Since we finished early, I decided to work on the Lukrolch, but now I'm working on his Prevo form. Not a cultural life form, but why not give it fur like a mammoth? I guess I could, but it would need to be given to it if it lended to it being a Japanese yokai. Let me shift its face like this. And then if I made the tentacles look like mustache, because it's got like sensory tentacles for its near its mouth, so to speak. Again, I just don't know how to make it look like a Japanese yokai. That's the only issue, chat. Unless, you know, it was a simple design, but it's rather massive, right? These are POTEMPO babies. These are the POTEMPO. Oh, you know what? Let's put the mouth over here instead. Do I just make him a massive yokai, chat? Like, he's like one of the biggest first stages? And then he just gets maybe a little smaller for Lukrolch? I mean, I could make Lukrolch big too, but... I mean, see, he's pretty cute. I don't want to lose this design. See? He's a friend. It does look a little weird because most of my creatures don't have mouths outside. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. It does seem cursed. It seems cute with the mask. With the mouth. But it also feels weird. So I wonder if maybe, I take the mouth away. Maybe those Japanese spirals as markings. Oh, I suppose. Big baby. You won. Upside down snail. Big boy that gains more power by being smaller can make sense. Jabba the Hutt's son. Maybe the totem could be put on his back. See, the thing is, the totem... I love the way the totem is here. Because it usually covers the face. Putting it on the back... like I kind of like what I'm doing with this guy here. So I'll leave that for that. And I love that it covers the eyes. It's so different, you know? In fact, just to even add, maybe it could extend. Or hooped over his head with the stalks poking out. Hooped over his head? You make up your own rules. This is true. This is true. But Sketch, I still have to figure out the rules. That's the tough part. I like the two individual things. Because none of the other yokai sometimes make yokai look... Yeah, that's kind of what's happening here, right? What I should have done, chat, was just designed Luke Harkul first. Slime ring around his mouth. What's a slime ring? Maybe more whiskered or puckered lips. You know what? He could be his own... Yeah, that's true. Maybe because his eyes are here and he's covering up his eyes. Right? It's more than anything makes it... Oh, I kind of want to do this, chat. I kind of just want to do that mouth. I think I also want to change the color because I already have the jelly and this is pretty close to that, you know? Ooh, I like this. Because I really don't want it to be too much like the other... There's some reddish colors on some of these. Brown, obviously. Some orange. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll lean more orange. Looks like Gulpin's mouth. Yeah, that's true. That mouth, though. Why not make it look alien? Like make it mustache, false arms, and have large spot on one nose that looks like a mouth? And the mustache makes it look like Swalot. Crap! Does Swalot have a mustache? Dang. Dang you, Swalot. Maybe it doesn't need a mouth. This does feel like it could evolve from the jelly line though, right? Doesn't matter if the yokai part doesn't really read. It's my take on it, right? So I can do this. Chat is now 2:36. I'm over 2 hours, 30 minutes. What if it has Mr. Popo lips? I do love those kind of style. Blue lips would look really good on it. That is true, you know, for welcome in. Mouth looks like he's thinking, but the eye says he has zero thoughts. I kind of love this. This might be one of the only POTEMPO first starters that doesn't have the expression hidden, right? Long smile would look like a meme I saw on the early internet, yeah. Mr. Popo's from Dragon Ball Z. He's got like these thick lips. He's adorable? Yeah, I think he is. I like his mouth taking up all that real estate. Otherwise, I do like the idea of the blue lips. I'm gonna try a version that does cover his face though, because he does feel like a second stage, because there is a time and place to like break the rules of POTEMPO design. And you know, it's still development time, so I'm just kind of seeing what works. Marshmallow and stick eyes, pretty much, right? Popo lips are precious. Maybe Jinx lips. No, Jinx lips creepy. Since he's a bird, the mouth should probably be a long beak. That's true. I do want to see the blue lips on this guy, because I do think it would look really nice. Oh yeah, that's prime. Aw, dang, that looks pretty great. I'm not even trolling, I think that looks really good. Maybe a version with only one totem over a stalk. That's true. Frieza lips. Popo somewhat controversial due to... Yeah, it's a tricky kind of thing that I won't go too much into. I really like that. I'm not even joking. Alright, let me move my dinos out of the way. At least we got some Cthulhu stuff done. Hey, maybe I do Cthulhu tomorrow. Nome Kujida. I'm gonna copy... I don't know why he did it like that. The blue jacket, I know. I do not like Jolly Ranchers. Do you guys like Jolly Ranchers? I'm sorry, I don't like Jolly Ranchers. Sue me. Am I right? I like the Jolly Rancher gummies. But if you ask me, regular Jolly Ranchers ain't it. I'm gonna do one more thing. And then, you know what, maybe I can just make... Crumb flower, real monster's lip. Yeah, I know, right? Can't recall what exactly Jolly Rancher looks or tastes like. Jolly Rancher's kind of but they're... Stop! Almond Joys are amazing. Cinnamon Jolly Ranchers? I don't know. I don't know about that. Like, Jolly Ranchers give me no joy. Alright, so in an ideal... So, this is how... a first stage would theoretically look kind of like this. I mean, this could still work. Yeah, I think I have to stick to the rules. But see, now the thing is, this one way or another, the problem with this, I mean, it's a good thing. That's what exploration is. When it comes to exploration, you got to try things out to see if it works. If it doesn't, then at least you know, right? So the thing here is there's nothing inherently built into this design that make it the Name Kujira, right? Which is okay, because you gotta try. Oh, you know what? So then maybe it could be maybe and its feelers kind of come out this way. That's cute. But the description for Name Kujira is basically it's just an overgrown slug. So it's not like I can really do too much. You know? Looks like its head got stuck on the TV. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, most of them look like that. The feelers are like the eyes, like Appleton, they flip up. They look like a colored chunk of quartz crystal. Watch a few gameplay videos when I was young. Tried Jolly Rancher's Pop-Tarts? Hey, have you known Slime Rancher? I do. The eyes being bluer would make it pop. Kind of like the idea of a really big first stage, now that you mentioned it, the small totem on the stock would show its size. For sure. This design's cute too. Why not make it the toilet licking yokai? Because it wouldn't really jump into Luca Cult. And so I like a slug into a snail. Again, I'm not entirely married to, you know, sticking with designs where like it needs to make sense, but there should still be some through line. And that's why I'm saying I tweaked when in reality I should have designed Lucar Cole first. And then I would have been like, oh, here's the things that make it up. Then from there, I go backwards. So next time I finish a 2-stage, which might be tomorrow. You know, I'll do another 2-stage tomorrow. I want to do more 2 stages so I can fill up the decks. I don't like the colors. Oh, you know what? It's feeling very Pikachu-like now. Looks like a Hollow Knight character. I played that game but never finished it. I didn't get too far, to be honest. And it's one of those things where it's been so long, if I try to hop on it again, I suspect I'd be like, where the hell am I? Where do I go? So I'll let this one sit for now. Maybe if we find another slug or some sort of yokai, I could bring it back, but for now, I mean, it's a fun design, without a doubt. Maybe a small and scared mouth for the spares. Yeah, I mean, a lot of my mouths, they don't have mouths. I gotta figure out how I'm going to do it. But yeah, the idea is that they need to be unlocked through their trainers, right? Befriending them. And so these are like, give them an air of mystery, as they're not, you know, able to formally exist in the world. They don't have enough power to really appear in their true kind of forms. I miss the lips a little. Me too. But that's why, if anything, then a slug thing would have to be a second stage. Because again, I get to break the rules. I could, but then it would look inconsistent if this was a first stage and, you know. I do like him a lot. I mean, then again, it doesn't need to explicitly be Namek because it's not like it's the real world Namek, it's just inspired by it. Right? It's not like it's taking place in Japan. It's a very fun design. Even without a mouth, it's very endearing. So I think I did land this one way or another. Banana Slug indeed. Hollow Knight is a learning curve for sure. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can jump in, but I have to start from the beginning. Looks like a giraffe, I can see that. Whenever I've been away from the game too long, I can start from the beginning. Yeah, sometimes you have to. Still adorable? I think so too. Alright, chat, I'm gonna call it. I'm almost coming on to 3 hours. We did a lot of exploration. It would be cute if there was a second stage and it got to reveal its face. Or if this became a second stage form. But actually, I mean, to me, somehow just the eyes being like that makes this one far more endearing. You know? If somehow, whenever the Cthulhu Day comes around, and for the Cthulhu lines, this guy doesn't fit, which I suspect it will, I'd probably say I could just take this guy and just make him the base form. So I think for sure for Cthulhu, Mind Flayer could absolutely be the second form. Hell, you know what? Maybe I can. It'd be so annoying. After all this work, I don't use this guy. But like, I'm sure there are plenty of squid and octopus yokai that I could probably use for the Cthulhu line. Although again, this guy is a pretty great fit because he's just so strange, you know? And I am planning on basing Cthulhu off like a Nautilus. But yes, scale them up indeed. I'll just scale up these two. Alright, let's do this. Alright, the League of Infinite Professor Bodhi's. I'll put you right here. Alright, let's see. So you kind of want him to be a little bigger. Although, yeah, maybe something like, yeah, maybe something like that. He's kind of a big boy. And then this guy is going to be, let's see. I think this seems like the right size. Because it would be cool if it were a nice rideable... Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll do that size. Alright, chat, what do we think? Looks good? Because I'm trying to think, like, if people wanted to ride this bird, they could. So if you're like a decent... and Mind Flayers have tadpoles, so that's there. That's true, but I would like the baby form to be... Because it's not like Mind Flayer specifically evolves into Cthulhu, like Mind Flayer is inspired by that. But I like when the lines still have a through line that feels similar. Perfect sizes, yep. So Luke Hulk the next stream. I think so. I think we should get that done. I'd like to have that done and then just you know, that's a 2-stage line right there to finish it. All right, sounds good. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Hope you enjoyed today's stream. Are there any single POTEMPO? Only one. There's only one, and I've talked about it before. If you don't know what it is yet, I'll leave it to be a surprise. But there's only one single stage. Guys, I shall catch you tomorrow, okay? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Make sure you leave a comment on the VOD if you got any ideas that you want me to see. Otherwise, yeah, today was a fun one. Didn't get as much done as I wanted. But that's probably because I'm getting used to like finding my pacing and everything. But yeah, you know what? I got some sort of slug guy. I got this guy, the base design for him just a little bit. Maybe it is time for Cthulhu. We'll see. I'll figure out what I feel like doing in the morning. Take care, you guys. Make sure you like the stream. That's right. Take epic